Hey everybody, it's George Trombley with Japanese from Zero, and this is Japanese Daily number 141, and we are going to be answering a question today from someone on the subreddit. I will cut the music out so we can get started. Okay, today's question is from Iyake, I believe that's how you say your name, and it's about a kanji, and it says, "Hi George, been a big fan of yours, and I owe you for probably 91% of the Japanese that I know. I think you're being a little bit kind there. Love seeing the recent daily. Thank you. While watching, I thought of a question in regards to," and I'm going to read it as ho right now, okay? Ho, and I'll show you the kanji in just a second. I got the no ho ga ii concept from your book. I believe it's book 3, and I use it often. However, I also know the kanji can be read as kata. It seems like I hear kata in conversations more than I do ho. I realize kanji have different pronunciations and usage depending on the situation, but I was wondering if you could shed some light on some various usage differences. Thanks a pant load. Not sure what thanking a pant load means, but let's look at it. All right. So you've got this kanji, all right? And it can be read as ho or kata, okay? Now, before I explain the very simple reason that these are different and what the different meanings, I just want to show you this thing in English that is confusing. So how would you read these? How would you read these, right? There's 2 ways to read these. I don't know if you know that. This is something we don't think about. Like, check this out. I read books. So if I give you a situation and I say, "Hey, what do you do every day?" "Oh, every day? I read books." "Hey, what did you do every day when you were 10? "Oh, when I was 10? Every day, I read books." So this one is read, and this one is read. Now, I want you to know how confusing that is to Japanese people and anyone learning English as to how do I know when it's read and how do I know when it's read? Well, it is absolutely the context of what's happening in the conversation. So now let's go back up to this. Now, luckily, this isn't even that hard. It's only similar in the fact that this can be read whole and this can be read kata, depending on what's happening in the conversation, okay? That's where it's similar. But this has a completely different meaning than this, okay? So ho is direction, okay? It's always about direction, okay? And kata is people. Now, you learned early on how to say people is like hito, right? I'll just type that up for you here. So we know hito, okay? This is people, which could also be read nin and can also be read jin, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about katas purely, okay? So kata is just like a more polite way to say people, and you will hear it in more formal situations, like when when anyone's talking about you in an official capacity, it's going to be with kata, not using hito, okay? So now let's look at this particular thing here. So when you hear kochira no ho, and by the way, I'm using kochira instead of kochi, okay? Kochira is the polite way to say kochi. It's also the polite way to say kore. It's also the polite way to say this person. It does all of those things. But so when I say kochira no ho though, I mean this direction. I mean this thing. I'm just saying, it's like saying kochi no ho. Like, which one do you want? Kochi no ho. I want this one. Kochira no ho. I could say, let's say you're at a restaurant, right? And you ask the waitress, there's like 2 ramens, like which one in these 2 pictures is good? And she might say to you, kochira no ho ga oishii. Kochira no ho ga oishii. This one, out of the 2, is more delicious, okay? And that's what you're doing with ho. Ho is comparator. Okay, so it's often combined with yori, which we talk about in book 3. You can go, I don't remember, I think it's like lesson 5 or something like that. But just understand, when someone uses no ho, it's comparing it to something else. Okay, but if we hear kochira no kata, it just means this person. It's this person. Kochira no kata, and you would not really hear kochi no kata because kata's this kind of polite way to say it, and kochi's more spoken, right? It's kind of weird to refer to a person as kochi, okay? It makes it more like an object. But kochira can be used for people. So kochira no kata, both of these are correct Japanese. One means this way or this one I prefer over the other one. And this one means this person. Now let's see where it gets a little bit interesting. So let's say we had these two. Well, we have these three sentences, right? So let's look at this one. America no hou ga yasashii. If you hear America no hou ga yasashii, yasashi means kind, okay? America no hou ga yasashii is like saying, in this conversation that we've been having about Japan and America, well, you know what? America is kinder, right? When you have hou ga yasashii, it means kinder, right? Compared to whatever we were talking about, because hou is comparative, okay? So maybe you're saying, oh, Japan, this is going to be political, but oh, Japan, they're really mean to the homeless people. Oh, they don't ever help the homeless people. America no hou ga yasashii. America as a country is more kind, okay, to whatever we were talking about. That is not an opinion that I hold. I don't know what the truth is there. I'm just giving you an example sentence that could happen in your life. And especially when you're talking with Japanese people, you're going to talk about America versus Japan a lot if you're an American. Okay. All right. Now we hear America no kata ga yasashii. Now this is no longer comparative. We're just saying, hey, people of America are kind. America no kata ga yasashii desu. Yeah. You might be talking to somebody about something, and they're like, oh, many Americans come here and, oh, America no kata ga yasashii desu. Now, we're not going to talk about, there's variations of this. I'll just give them to you. America jin no kata, you'll hear that. You'll hear kata turned into its, into kata gata, okay, which is just the plural way to say people. But because Japanese doesn't have to have plurals, America no kata ga yasashii could mean American people, and it could be American person is kind, okay? Now, I left this one here just to show you where it can get a little bit crazy, all right? Hopefully you understand that this one is not a comparator. This one is a comparator. This has nothing to do with people. This has to do with the country. This one, because it's people of America, this is about people and not about comparing. But if you wanted to compare, you could compare, is what I was trying to show you. You could say, America no kata no hou ga yasashii. Now I'm saying, hey, compared to whatever we were just talking about, Japanese people, Chinese people, Korean people, English people, well, out of those two that we were talking about, America no kata no hou ga yasashii. People of America are more kind. That's it. Now I'm going to look over, I'm going to see if you have any questions, and then I'm going to leave because I think the shorter these videos are, the better. All right, let's look over what we got here. All right, luckily there's not a lot of comments, so this is good. Kino no Japanese daily wa omoshirokata desu. Thank you, all the parts. I'm not seeing any questions. Okay, that's it, guys. Wait. I remember in the Houga lesson where you wore the Sailor Moon t-shirt. That is in my closet. I still have it. It's one of my favorite shirts. Okay. Yes, and I did say oshioki. I said tsuki ni kawatte oshioki yo. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you all tomorrow, I hope, on the next Yes Japan Daily. Keep learning daily. Keep learning something every day. This video series, if I keep it up, will be the answer to what do I do when I don't have time? Well, you can learn a little bit of Japanese every day with this video series. All right, see you next time. Bye. And I'm going to stick around just a minute for the other videos that you could watch to pop up. This video here and this video here, whatever. Watch them. Bye. See you next time.